Good evening and welcome to the Piper Report. So, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson has some interesting words today to say about Iran. Let me preface by saying I am no fan of Iran. However, I can see where this is going. I can see where this foreign policy strategy is going. Secretary Tillerson said not only is Iran violating the 2015 Iran nuclear deal, but they are also undermining U.S. interests in countries like Iraq, Lebanon, and Syria. Let's be frank here. Do you think Rex Tillerson would be saying that if it wasn't for Israel and their continuous hostilities between Israel and Iran? Mad Dog Madass has also told Saudi Arabia that Iran is responsible for their destabilizing influence they are having in the conflict in Yemen. That if it wasn't for Iran, the conflict in Yemen would essentially be over. I think we can all see where this is headed. I think we see that the neocons' foreign policy is in fact being implemented right in front of our eyes. And with regards to Mad Dog Mattis talking to Saudi Arabia about the dangers of Iran influence, it kind of makes you wonder why Saudi Arabia is such a good ally to us. Weren't they the ones who paid off the 9/11 attackers? They funded them? Isn't Saudi Arabia a huge influence of terrorist activities? Wasn't Osama bin Laden's parents rich Saudi Arabians? Or maybe because Saudi Arabia has a lot of oil there. Maybe that's why they're such good allies there. The fact is that we are following a set narrative of foreign policy, partly dictated by Israeli influence in the Middle East and what they want with regards to Palestine and Iran and countries such as that. Now, I'm not saying that Iran is innocent. They have, in fact, funded terrorist groups like Hamas and Hezbollah. But then again, the U.S. has funded Al-Qaeda in Syria. The U.S. has funded Yemen rebels who are also Al-Qaeda. But when Iran does it, it's because they are a global terrorist organization. When the U.S. does it, it's because we are trying to overthrow corrupt dictators. Now, there is a clear distinction there that they want to teach us. But the fact is, there is no distinction there. The juxtaposition between us and Iran, for the most part, with respect to foreign policy, are pretty much the same. We fund other organizations. Doesn't matter if they're terrorists, doesn't matter who they are. We fund them for them to implement our own strategy. That being said, I'm fine with the Donald Trump administration to be harsher on Iran if they violate the nuclear deal. But military aggression in the Middle East will only compound the problems. It will not fix anything. It doesn't matter exactly what you do over there if you act in a military type of manner, because what's going to happen is you are going to create a mess that is worse than what it was before you went over there. So all types of military aggression in the Middle East should only be done if it is absolutely necessary and if the reason is absolutely justified. As of right now, I do not see any justification for us going over to Iraq and going to war with Iran. Going over to Iran and go to war with Iran. I just don't see it. I really hope we don't see more false flags all of a sudden coming out that Iran has blown up houses in Israel or have chemical weapons were attributed to Assad by Iran and things like that, because that's all we need is more falsified evidence to incentivize the U.S. to go over to Iran and also Syria. So I hope we don't see any type of military aggression anymore in the Middle East, but who knows what will happen, especially if the neocons have such powerful positions and have such powerful influence over Donald Trump and over Donald Trump's foreign policy. And I'm done.